everybody, and in today's video, we're going to be discussing Bladedancers versus Gunslingers in the Trials of Osiris. Now, I did touch on this a little bit when I was on Planet Destiny's podcast. If you didn't see that, or you didn't even realize I was on a podcast, I will leave a link in the description. It's a lot of awesome stuff that we talked about. A lot of Trials talk, obviously. A lot of competitive Destiny talk. So if you're into anything like that, I think you'll really enjoy it. Make sure to check it out. Now, the gameplay that you're going to be watching is not of Trials of Osiris because I only got to play as a warlock when I played Trials of Osiris. I didn't play as a hunter, and it doesn't make much sense for me to be talking about gunslingers and Bladedancers playing a warlock. So if you came here expecting Trials of Osiris gameplay, I sincerely apologize. The gameplay is not of Trials of Osiris, but the topic definitely is. I'm going to be talking about the strengths and weaknesses of both the Gunslinger and the Bladedancer, and we're going to be coming to a conclusion, maybe, if I can, as to which one is going to be best when you head into the trials. So I'm gonna start off by talking about Bladedancers because I've touched on Gunslingers a little bit in my team setup video, which a link will be in the description if you did miss that, but I haven't touched on Bladedancers at all. And it's actually really interesting, the role that Bladedancers, I believe, from many hours of thinking about it, the role that they take in Trials of Osiris is very interesting. So as you know, in regular Crucible, Gunslingers are the more reserved, more laid back of the hunters. They're going for the perfect headshots and stacking the chain of woe stacks, and they're obviously going to be able to kill people from a distance with their golden gun. Whereas Bladedancers are a lot more in your face with blink, and then of course you have blink strike, which is a really awesome melee attack, which you evidently have to be close to do. And then arc blade, you're running around with a knife, so you obviously have to be in people's face to kill people with arc blade. So they're definitely the more aggressive of the hunters. However, in Trials of Osiris, I believe this changes quite a lot. As a Bladedancer, you have to pop your super and go into the enemy team. Now, when you're an organized team playing against another organized team, the chances are that most people are going to be sticking together, or they're going to have two people sticking together. If you go running in there away from your team who won't be able to keep up with you because you're blade dancing and try and kill them, most likely you're just gonna die. You might kill one person, but then you're in the enemy's base and your team is not going to be able to get to you. So in terms of popping your super and running in there and killing people, I don't really think that's going to happen, especially as when Trials of Osiris comes out, most people are going to be able to upgrade their primary exotic to 365 attack. And most of us are going to be level 32 and a half, maybe level 33 if we're lucky when Trials first comes out. With that being said, they're going to be doing a lot of damage to you. You're going to be a lot squishier than you usually are when you're in arc blade form. So most likely you are just going to go over there and you're just going to die. You're going to be in a bad spot for your team to come and revive you. So with that being said, I feel that the Bladedancer takes on a much more defensive playstyle than the Gunslinger when it comes to Trials of Osiris. As a Bladedancer, you have really awesome defensive things. Blink, although people do use it a lot to just blink shotgun people very aggressively, it's a really good defensive ability. If you get into a situation where one of your team members gets taken down and the enemy is pushing into you, you're gonna have blink to be able to stay alive and take out everyone. You're very good at being slippery. As you guys are watching in the gameplay, I've tried to just select clips where I'm being very slippery. It's hard to get a hold of me and kill me, and that's what the Bladedancer is really good at. The Void Walker could also do a very similar thing when it comes to blink. They play a very similar role. But also, with a Bladedancer, when it comes to actually using your super, you can use it in a defensive way. Picture this scenario. I wish I could draw, because I would literally just draw the scenario. I'm not going to do it on paint. That would be terrible. Your teammates have been taken down. Two of you are dead. It's just you on your own against the enemy team. You have two ways that you can use your arc blade. You can either pop it and try and go for the enemy team and take them out, or you can pop it to get an extra mobility around the map. Considering that you have blink and you can use your arc blade slashes to get around the map, it's going to be incredibly difficult for the enemy team to capture you and kill you. Plus you have the damage mitigation when you are in arc blade form. form. So you can pop your super, run around the map trying to either kill people or get people to chase you, get them scattered, and you can go ahead and revive your teammates. Especially if you have the alpha loopy chest on and you have the damage mitigation, you're going to be able to get at least one of your teammates up when you do pop your arc blade. So I think that the Bladedancer's arc blade can be a really awesome defensive super. I know we don't look at it like that because that's not how you would usually use it, but in Trials of Osiris, when getting your teammates back up is of the highest importance, using your arc blade to be able to get away from enemies, keep yourself alive, and revive your teammates could be a very viable strategy. Also, the Bladedancer has some really awesome grenades with the arc bolt grenade. It's personally my favorite, especially for a game mode like Trials, because it's good at getting people when they're behind the corner. If you just hit them with your weapon one time, usually if you're using something like Hawkmoon or Thorn, and then you throw an arc bolt grenade, it's gonna kill them when they're sitting behind a post or a pillar, or they go behind the corner. So I really like the arc bolt grenade. Just like the firebolt grenade, they're very similar when it comes to just giving that extra little bit damage to take that person out and get them out of the round. Plus, putting arc bolt grenades with firebolt grenades is a little insane. Someone throws a grenade, another person throws a grenade, everybody's dead. Everyone's just dead. Goodbye, everybody. Bye-bye. Now, on the other hand, you have gunslingers, which can be extremely aggressive in the Trials of Osiris because you have this unique super that you can run around with and pick people off from a distance. So you can be like, guys, I got my golden gun, let's go. Your teammate pushes up with you, and you just take people out one shot with your golden gun. You get to be the aggressive hunter when it comes to Trials of Osiris, because what are gunslingers good at? They're good at being precise, they're good at taking people out from a distance, and that's exactly what Trials of Osiris is. It's about that medium to long range. So when you pop your golden gun, you are a god, and they're gonna try and run from you. So just push in there, be super aggressive, and try and take people out with your golden gun. Gunslingers are also very good at stopping enemy revives and protecting choke points because they have the trip mine grenade. You can throw it over where the enemy's ghost is, and the team is thinking, do I kill the trip mine? Do I kill the person? What do I do? Do I run away? And while they're confused and thinking about what they should do, you can kill them. You're stopping them from getting that revive. And the longer that you can stop people from reviving their team, the better. If you can stop it indefinitely, then that's amazing, obviously. Also, they're very good at covering choke points, so if your team's in a situation where you do have a man down, or you see someone on the enemy team trying to flank, you can throw a trip mine down, and although it may not get the kill because the person would have to literally just run into the trip mine, which would be very strange for someone to do in Trials of Osiris, very strange, but you do stop them from doing what they were planning on doing, and you can actually adjust your team and take out that person that's trying to flank you guys. So when it comes to comparing Bladedancers and Gunslingers, Bladedancers are just the better defensive hunter. You don't necessarily want to be super aggressive with them because blink shotgunning can get you in a lot of trouble in Trials of Osiris. If you're being overly aggressive, that playstyle doesn't actually pay off. Being more reserved and taking your time definitely pays off a lot more. So you don't want to adopt that same playstyle that you have in the Crucible with your Bladedancer into the Trials of Osiris. But they have all of those abilities that make them so good at being aggressive. They can transfer into being amazing when it comes to being defensive. Blink is not just for blinking at people and being aggressive, it's amazing at getting away from people. It's so good. So if you're ever in a situation in Trials of Osiris where you're the last person, you're going to be able to get away from the enemies, you're going to be able to survive and hopefully bring it back. Whereas Gunslingers have all of the means, literally just in their super, to be the way more aggressive hunter. I know that people might think, oh, it's just a super, is it really that big of a deal? It is when it comes to Trials of Osiris. A golden gun can just straight up win you a round, and each round is so incredibly important. So if you have your golden gun, you can easily run in there and take out, even if it's just one person, you guys can push in and win the game off of that one golden gun kill. So they're definitely the more aggressive of the hunters. Now, which hunter is better in Trials of Osiris? I don't know, man. I don't know. If you want to just win rounds and you want to have that guaranteed round winner, then definitely pick the Gunslinger for sure, because they can just run in there with golden gun and they can win that round for you. If you're not as comfortable being that person that's responsible to winning a round with your golden gun, play a Bladedancer. You can just only pop out your blinks and stuff when you're in tight situations. It's really hard to say which one is better. If you're an aggressive player, I would say pick the Gunslinger. If you're more defensive, I would say pick the Bladedancer. Yeah, that's my answer. So I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. It's so interesting thinking about Trials of Osiris. The way that everything changes in elimination is amazing. It changes everything that you thought you knew about the Crucible. So if you did miss any Trials of Osiris videos, they will all be in the description, along with the podcast where I talked about this subject a little bit, and I will speak to you awesome people later. Bye.